Gather around. It's time for the show to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, this is...
Hey everyone, my name is Jason.
Hi friends, it's Desiree Josen.
All right, there were so many matches this year that were just too much.
So this won't be a shocker because we've had a handful of really awesome matches that we just can't stop talking about.
How many times have these guys fought? It's been quite a bit.
I've been saying this all year. They're just so great to watch. We saw the heel turn coming, and then when it happened, nice and bloody, both dramatic and beautiful.
You are now entering the ring with Chutes and Ladders podcast. Here are your hosts, Desiree and Jason.
Chutes and Ladders, AEW 2026 predictions. What's going on, everyone? My name is Jason.
Hi, friends. It's Desiree Josen.
Okay, so today we're going to look ahead for 2026 of AEW. We're going to talk about titles, breakout superstars, just the business overall, and bold predictions. What's your initial thoughts, Des?
Well, I'm very hopeful because I feel like they had a really good year for 2025. They had really good talent, some really awesome matches and pay-per-views. So hopefully they are going to keep going up.
Totally with you. Okay, so the first topic that we're going to go over is an AEW checkpoint between 2025 versus 2026. What about 2025 stood out to you about AEW?
Their quality of matches. I feel like that's one thing that they excel in. They have really good talent. And so the production of the actual match itself is just really technical. It's really good, really entertaining, and I feel like they feed off the crowd. I feel like that is probably their number one strength is their quality in matches.
100%. I definitely agree with you on that. And does 2026 feel like a climb higher or a slide backward?
I would hope that it would be a up. Just because I feel like they're getting good feedback. People are giving them higher scores. Other critics and other, I guess, articles or just something along the social media, they're getting positive feedback of it. So hopefully they're taking notes on that, saying we're doing something really well. Let's keep up what we're doing with that. So I would hope they're listening to us fans saying how good they are.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing where this could potentially kind of muddy the waters a little bit. Listen, last year they lost Mariah May. Yeah. This year, there's already talks about them losing, a couple superstars. So if they lose a couple of these talented, males and females on the roster, that could shake things up more than I think people realize. So that would be, to me, I think they have to kind of keep their talent happy to make sure that they actually stay within the organization.
I think so. I think that's a negative is their long-term planning because they are very short-term booking. They do take advantage of strike while the iron is hot, but they don't know how to keep the heat, I guess, if that makes any sense. No, so they will book someone really well for about a month or two, and then they disappear. So I think it's just the longevity of the evolution of the character, and like you said, keeping the talent happy with their career too. So, and I feel like that's just been their issue for the past 5+ years since they've been running. So I agree with you. They can easily, their contracts are up. They can renegotiate and go to NXT. They can go to TNA, WWE, which there are rumors there. But one positive is AEW is, we said, should favor more of the newer talent, so maybe this will make room for them.
Sure. And what would you say is the biggest thing AEW needs to do better in 2026? Would you just be elevating the new talent?
That and just long-term booking. I feel like they can start a storyline, but I don't think they know how to develop it. They immediately book big matches immediately instead of drawing out a feud or developing a story. So I feel like it's just their long-term creative process.
Yeah, 100,000% agree with you on that. All right, now let's move on to our next segment. We're going to talk MJF. Des, this is crystal ball time. How dominant does MJF's reign look once the calendar flips over to 2026 and beyond?
I love MJF. I am so excited he's back. He is one of the reasons why I got into AEW. He is just so entertaining. I feel like he is one of the major faces of AEW. And even of the wrestling industry, I think he's such a great heel. So with him coming back from his movie career, which, it's not over. I'm sure he's going to leave soon and go film something else. But I feel like his reign right now, it's not going to be short. I think it's going to probably lead until the summer or fall, and then potentially drop it to somebody else. But I feel like he is just going to be a reign of terror on TV. He's going to be fire on the mic, really awesome matches. The boy is talented. And I mean, he's just pure entertainment. He's a fantastic wrestler. I enjoy watching him, so I hope he doesn't drop the title or he doesn't leave TV anytime soon.
Yeah, 100%. Look, it would be in their best interest to make sure this is a lengthy run, just like you said. I think the only reason why they may potentially cut it short is if he has to film a movie and he has no choice but to drop the title. That's
right.
Or maybe if he gets hurt, which we don't wish. But those are the only two things I can think of.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense anytime, at least in Q1 or Q2, for him to drop it.
Yeah, especially since he really is homegrown AEW talent. So I think they really need to ride that.
For sure.
All right, and then when the music finally hits and MJF's reign ends, who do you see holding that title?
I would love to see him against Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
They haven't wrestled. I think they've only had one singles match together, and that was 3 years ago. So it would be really refreshing to see someone with that kind of name beat the hell out of him. And I think it'd be cool. I know Kenny is older and he's more of a vet, but I think that would be really cool to see. If we're talking about someone up and coming, or even someone a little bit newer, Will Ospreay would be a fantastic contender once he's healed and ready to go. Can we talk about a 5-star match there? That'll be fun. Even, some newer up and coming ones like Daniel Garcia or even Takeshita. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are all great choices. So then when 2026 closes, who's standing tall as AEW World Champion? This one's tough.
I don't like this question. Will Ospreay.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. Because look, if there were going to for him to drop the title, I don't think it makes sense to drop it to a vet at this point. That doesn't do anything. They already did that with Samoa Joe, and then it really didn't do anything. So if you're gonna do it right and give it to the guy that should be main eventing AEW for the foreseeable future. We all know I'm a fan, but I think Will Ospreay is ready for it.
I love him. Yeah. I think that was a kind of like a no-brainer right there.
All right, sounds good. Okay, now we're going to kick things off with the women's division and talk about that outlook. Look, when it comes to the future of Toni Storm has reinvented herself. Where is her ceiling in 2026?
She has no ceiling. And I was thinking about that earlier this week with Toni Storm. She's just better and better. She is by far the best person on the mic in that company, male or female, hands down. I think she matches every different kind of body type she can take on. Look at her. She's wrestling guys right now and suplexing them, and it's just even better. So, and I never thought I would be into that intergender kind of wrestling, and she's doing pretty damn good herself on that. So, I think she's just found her groove, and AEW is just flowing with it and saying, you do what you need to do and what you feel is right for your character. Is she going to be more towards tag, or is she going to go back after the world title? Who knows? And I really don't care. Whatever she does, I'm for it. So I feel like she is the standard in the company.
100%. That actually leads perfectly for my next question. Is she still a centerpiece, or does the division move past her this year?
I want her to always be the centerpiece, because you can't not. She's a magnet. I feel like she is AEW. Her and MJF are the two that I feel like are just making their ratings rise. I would say she's been going 2 years strong, and it's not her fault. I mean, she's that damn good, and the fans like her. I'm still watching her, and I still think she's funny. And you would think by now that this bit, or at least this gimmick of hers, would be old. It's not. So I would say if she can still pull it off, let her be the star, and then let other girls try to compete. Why not? It's just going to strengthen the locker room and the talent itself to be like, okay, this is what I have to do. I have to be wild. I have to be physical. I have to do it all. Then so be it. That just means your talent's going to be even better. So I would like to see other try to step up, and I think they are trying to. So, yeah.
No, I'm with you. Listen, I think for the foreseeable future, she will always be a centerpiece of AEW's women's division. So, I mean, there's that. But there's another female we want to talk about, and that's Chris Statlander. So, who do you think is the real threat to Statlander's reign right now?
I love Chris. She is just so powerful. I think she would be the closest, or she's the one trying to step up the ladder to get to the Toni Storm level. Character-wise, they're different, but I feel like power-wise, they're there. Man, she's taken on Jamie and Mercedes and everybody. I feel like maybe some newer girls, maybe like Tekla, maybe Megan Bain, because she's a bigger girl. Willow, I would love to see Willow really elevate herself, and I really think she's got a bright future this year. So I would really like to see Willow really step it up with her.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. I think they're gonna basically run her in different views to kind of see what kind of sticks. But yeah, I mean, there's so many. But I think ultimately, I think Statlander's gonna have a pretty lengthy run.
Yeah, I think so, because I really don't see anybody else. I don't know. Who knows what? I feel like the women's division right now, they're in a spot where they have Toni and then they have everybody else.
Yeah,
and that's not bashing them, but I just feel like everyone else is at a different level. So yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, cool. Now we're going to talk about the tag team division. We kind of spoke last year. Tag team division fell a little bit, but does the tag team division, does it actually elevate this year in 2026?
I hope so, because it was not that great last year. I'm going to be honest. Who was it? We had who was it with the Hurt Syndicate? That was them, and then FTR, Brodito. Respectfully, it wasn't good. So I would hope from this year they can only go up, and the same with the women's division too. So I feel like that's something that they really, really need to work on this year. And what I don't like, and I feel like they actually need to have actual tag teams instead of just putting people together and putting two singles and saying, hey, let's make this work, because it does work in some one-offs, but I feel like some people are actual tag teams, and we need that, like FTR. They work so well together. They are a brand. But the other ones that they're putting together, I just don't think it's working.
I'm 1,000% with you. I was actually thinking about this not too long ago. In WWE, they used to have very established tag teams, and those are the guys that were those are the guys that were allowed to have the titles. I mean, they would wrestle two guys that were thrown in together, but you didn't really make them champions. And then once they kind of broke that seal for a long time, it almost felt like the tag team division didn't really mean anything. So, and they finally switched back. Now for AEW, I'm 1,000% with you. If you're going to have two guys thrown in together, and even if you give them the titles, it should be a temporary basis only. I think it eventually needs to go back to an established tag team. Now, if you want to split that tag team up because you want to see what they can do, fine. Mm-hmm. But this is a perfect opportunity for tag teams. It's a perfect opportunity for guys that are really trying to make themselves that really aren't doing anything as singles. And I think they kind of need to be separated overall. So overall, I'm with you 1,000%.
Yeah, so I feel like right now they're in a state of they're like in this weird gray purgatory area of they really don't have a tag division. So I think with that being said, then they need to vacate those titles for a little bit until they can build up that division where it actually is legit for both women and men.
Okay, gotcha. And then another question I have, and this is for the male and the females. There seems to be a little bit of division between the OGs and the new blood. Which side needs to win for AEW's future in the tag team division?
I mean, if you're trying to build it, let's look at what legacy teams do they have? They have FTR that been together for 10 plus years. If you want to count Edge and Christian, but that's up in the air right now. The Guns, Colton's out, so like I don't know at this point. I would say, you know what, let's just rebuild and just get, you know what, AEW, we need new talent. That's what it is for the newer guys. So why don't you just start pulling even from Ring of Honor or Japan? Let's get some new tag guys, build up their name and their brand, and just start all over.
Okay, yeah, 1,000,000%. And that's kind of what I was just saying. I really do think, look, if tag teams, I think anyone that's in a tag team, they want to do it for so long. I think eventually, as time goes on, those tag teams said, you know what, I kind of want to do something else. They probably talk to creative and they want to kind of break out on their own, which is fine. When that happens, that's fine. Now bring in the new blood so they can kind of just keep this thing going. So I actually think the newer guys would make the most sense.
Yeah.
All right, now we're going to talk about breakout stars for 2026. Who is your breakout male star for 2026?
I've been leaning towards Daniel Garcia a lot. I feel like he's been showing a lot of face, and his character is just getting harder and harder, if that makes any sense. He was, in the first couple of years, he was just feeding off the crowd with his dance, and then now he's actually being this man of, like, this threat in the ring. So I'm enjoying him, even to Takeshita. Even though he's not necessarily a breakout, I feel like he's elevated himself a lot, especially with his feud with Okada. So I feel like he's got a very good year ahead of him.
Yeah, I'm still going to go Takeshita because I almost feel like the breakout isn't completely a breakthrough yet, and I think it's coming very, very soon.
Yes.
All right, now let's switch it up. As to the females, who's your pick for a breakout female superstar?
Mine's going to be Willow. I feel like she's got a bright future. She has been busting her ass every year since she's been official All Elite, and I love the development of her character, what she's been doing with different people and teaming up with these really awesome matches, and then what she's got with Harley. And Harley is on my radar too. I think she is so funny. She's beautiful. She's physical. So I think she's a good entertainer. So hopefully they get to spotlight those two. But Willow is my number one, and Harley is my number two.
I was going to go Harley. I just think that there's something about her that I think that, you know what? I think this year could be a fun year for her.
She's so funny.
I know, for sure. And again, wrestling, Mick Foley said, Raven said it best. Wrestling is a pendulum of storylines and comedy. So it's good to have both. Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to switch to the lightning round. So this is going to be fun. This is going to be quick fire, no overthinking. I'm just going to ask you a bunch of different questions. Okay, one tag team or faction that doesn't survive 2026.
Death Riders.
Death Riders for me too. Okay.
They're going to turn on Mox.
Yeah, I'd see that. All right, a surprise heel or face turn nobody sees coming.
Swerve.
Ooh, that's good. I was going to say Will Ospreay just because...
Oh! Yeah. That would be fantastic.
Right? Okay. One shocking return that would change everything.
John Cena. No, I'm kidding. This one, what would be shocking would be Chris Jericho, because we know that he's a free agent right now. So if he doesn't go to the other... I would be shocked if he came back to AEW. I'll throw that out there.
Okay, and to be honest, nothing else stands out to me, so I'm just going to go with that answer too. Okay. All right, AEW's biggest in-ring strength heading in 2026. I know mine.
Are we talking about person or just like overall like quality?
Overall quality.
It's their matches, their match quality, their technicality. Like that's just a no-brainer.
Okay, to me, it's their athleticism. I mean,
Yeah.
you want to talk about guys that just fly across the ring, like bounce off, just do these crazy, crazy things. I've been saying this. They don't need to be WWE. They have their own identity. They can just stick to being athletic elite wrestling. And, they don't need established superstars. They can create their own. I think the fans would love it.
100% agree.
All right, now we're going to talk about pay-per-views, scheduling, and pricing. Does AEW need more pay-per-views, fewer pay-per-views, or just better built pay-per-views in 2026?
Okay, we have said this time and time again. Stop charging us. Because we're still not watching it, even though you give us a 10-15% discount because I'm an HBO Max or whatever Prime, whatever subscriber already. I already pay for the product. Don't make me pay even more, even if it's $20-$30. I'm not going to buy it because I'm going to watch it on YouTube the next day. Second, 0 hour? No, stop doing it. It's too much. It's exhausting. I appreciate you trying to give you more for your money. I get it. Don't do it. It's exhausting the crowd and the fans. So no. And also too, they're getting a lot better. I noticed towards the end of the year with their pay-per-views. I want more focused, like main event matches, title matches. Don't be doing no filler matches that make no sense. That should be on Collision and Dynamite. So let's shorten the card to maybe like 5-6 really awesome matches. That's it.
I'm just going to echo everything you said because I 1,000% agree. And you know what? With streaming wars and now with WWE on ESPN, listen, you better take suit. You know what? Just include that into the price.
Yeah, because we ain't going to buy it again in 2026. Sorry.
Not happening. All right, speaking of Dynamite and Collision, how do you evaluate the state of Dynamite and Collision heading into 2026?
I'm going to be very honest. I have cut back on my watching of both shows. Like Collision, basically, I haven't been watching it, not unless there's a reason for me to watch it. I'm so sorry. I used to love it. I loved it a lot. Dynamite, I'll watch here and there. Like you'll text me on Wednesday about a match, and I'm like, whoops, I forgot. Or I'll watch a replay, or I'll catch it later. So, and I've been to a couple of live tapings again for 2025 here in Jacksonville at Dailies, and they're decent. I feel like a lot of these storylines have gone a little stale. I feel like it's gone downhill a little bit because I was a big fan of like 2022, 2023 Dynamite and Collision and Rampage when it was on, and I loved it. It was very WCW-esque. And now I feel like hopefully it'll get better. I'm going to be more open-minded this year when it comes to them.
Okay, and then which show needs the bigger reset? I think you answered it, but I would love to hear it.
Collision!
Yeah. Okay, yes to everything you just said. First off, listen, I think it's smart for Dynamite to be on Wednesday. Do not compete against WWE. It's stupid. Collision, at this point, just give it to Ring of Honor. You might as well. Give it to Ring of Honor, or give it to New Japan, or give it to a completely different entity that is actually worth watching, because I have not watched Collision in, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years, and I'm not going to.
And I want to.
Yeah. Another thing I was actually thinking about, and it's funny you mentioned WCW, one thing I do miss as an old school wrestling fan, I miss Saturday morning wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
right?
That would be nice to have my breakfast and coffee
That's
and watch
what
a
I'm
little bit of
saying.
wrestling.
If you want to have Collision then. And
or I wouldn't mind like a recap, like how they would do on Sunday morning.
Yes, exactly. Something like that. If you're going to do something like that, that's fine. You don't, like, it's because, again, I don't think Collision does anything. Yeah, you could have like a Dynamite Collision on Saturday morning. I'm telling you, I miss Saturday morning wrestling. I want it back, and I think this is a great opportunity for it. Because, again, they're obligated to provide X amount of hours of programming. Let it be that. Because, again, it's a Saturday night, and you are not going to go head-to-head against WWE's PLEs and win. Not happening.
No, and I think they've learned that. But also with Collision, I know that they're trying to split the roster like how they do Raw and SmackDown. And there are some people that I want to watch on Collision, but I always forget to, or I just don't want to. And I'm like, just maybe we can put them all or mix them back onto Dynamite. And Collision, like you said, be Ring of Honor. It could be another, I don't know, but I just feel like we're missing out on a lot of talent that they're purposely putting on Collision to bring up ratings, but people aren't watching because it's Saturday.
Yeah, 1 million. All right, and when it comes to just the winning formula in 2026, what is the winning formula for AEW? I mean, what bounce they finally need to hit?
A little bit of everything. I know they're still newer. I mean, they're over 5 years old. I know they're still trying to get back and get their groove of who they are, and we know who they are because we are the fans. We're watching them. I'm a fan of the product. I just feel like I think it's creative. I don't know if Tony is still as involved or if he's backed away, but I think that's what they need to do. I think what they really need to focus on is their talent and how they're building characters and storylines. There's some people that don't need the hand holding, and that's MJF, that's, Tony, and the bigger names. That's always going to bring a pop. That's always going to bring the attention. But I think it's the newer ones that they're trying to develop that they really need for us to really, I guess, I don't even know the word I'm looking for is invest in. So I think that's what it is I need to be invested in some newer characters, and I just can't get into it.
Okay, fair enough. Love it. Okay, I'm going to keep it simple. 3 things. First off, stop chanting for pay-per-views. Second, bring back Saturday morning wrestling, and you know what? Include Ring of Honor somehow for Collision. Third, focus on the athletes. Right? I'm telling you, you do not need to push old WWE guys for the fans. You don't. You already have a lot of superstars. You can be completely different. I mean, do not focus on ratings or anything like that. You're not going to beat them realistically anytime soon. The most important thing by far, be you, and again, athletic elite wrestling. So that is also my final thoughts. What are your final thoughts?
Speaking of that, I'm going to echo what you said about the older vets. You don't stop signing them because, for example, we were talking about this before we started recording with Edge or Adam Copeland. He signed, it was like a short-term contract, but we only saw him just for the pop of his return to see him with Edge and Christian, and then now he's gone. I don't know if that was a personal choice or if that was a creative thing, but we're just like, what? Where is he? What's he doing? And the same with other names. If you're going to hire them to be coaches and producers backstage. Don't expect them to be in the ring and be your star because it's not going to work. It's been very clear that that's just not a winning formula for this. And like you said, be yourself. We know you are a completely different product. Just do it. I don't know. No. I love y'all. I want y'all to be like how I was so excited 2 or 3 years ago where I was watching them more than I was WWE.
Yeah, 100%. Exactly. And things kind of fell off a little bit. But again, this is why you can, it's a new year. You can actually do a little reflecting and just approve.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And that actually wraps up this action-packed episode. What are your predictions for AEW in 2026? Go ahead and shoot us a DM at the Shoots and Ladders. Like always, please like, share, and subscribe both on YouTube and Spotify. Once again, my name is Jason.
I'm Desiree Jason.
All right. Until next time, have a blessed day and a blessed week.
Have a great week. Bye, friends.
This has been Shoots and Ladders. Follow us for more content.